Welcome, everybody. We're delighted to have you with us this afternoon. This is Tuesday afternoon, the 28th of September of 2021, and it's 3:30 in the afternoon, Mountain Daylight Time. I'm Dawn Snow. I'm here in St. George, and our host, Gerhard Roof, is up in Orem. He's taking care of all the technical stuff, and I don't know what we would do without him doing the technical stuff. This is our regular class, our UV TAG, Utah Valley Technology and Genealogy Group classes, the weekday ones. We do them usually twice a month, and this is the fourth Tuesday. Today's discussion is on digital photos, facial recognition using freeware. I was calling this organization or organizing, and I thought, the only thing I'm really talking about is how do you find all the people and how do you do that automatically? Because we all get so many photos now that there's got to be a way to do it. And there are free programs, and that's what I'm going to show you today, two free programs there that will work on Windows, and there are equivalent programs that will work on Macs that will do this same sort of thing. Here's an outline as to roughly what we're going to be covering today in this discussion. We talked about file naming, which is a major way of organizing your digital photos in a past class. I think that was the last one 2 weeks ago. This one today, we'll talk about this facial recognition freeware. The two programs in particular will be Picasa and Microsoft Photos. Now, Picasa is an old program. It was written originally, and then Google bought them, and Google decided they weren't making any money from it, and so they stopped supporting it and switched over to Google Photos, which you can use for free unless you run out of space, and there isn't a whole lot of space for it, so they're going to make their money from that. But Picasa is still available, and it's still free. And there's a link on the notes here, which I'll show you in a minute as to where to download it. Microsoft Photos is a program that is built into Windows. It's in Windows 10. And I'll show you how to get to it. And we'll show you some examples of this using it. The main problem I want to talk about today is using these two programs on bunches of my pictures to pick out the faces, to recognize the faces and organize the pictures by who's in those pictures without me having to do it. So we're organizing into people albums. There are other albums you can do, and I'll show you some examples of that and examples, etc. Now, the notes for the class are on that website. There's the link to the website, and I'll show you what those look like. And Gerhard Roof, our host, has already posted for you a PDF of those notes, but they're available right on that website all the time. If you're watching this on Facebook, now you can go directly to this, or on Zoom you can go directly to this, or if you happen to be watching this a year from now on our website, the notes will be there, but they may be updated in the meantime. They have notes and links and the recent videos. Now, what I want to spend most of the time on today, and these classes usually only last about a half an hour roughly, we want to look at examples and demos. So that's going to be the subject that we're going to be looking at. So I'm going to switch gears now. I'm going to go over to, first of all, to the notes to show you what the notes look like. There they are. Well, let me get you over to this side. If you click on that link that I showed you a minute ago, this is my class notes page. So this is on the internet. It's always there, and it's available at no charge. You can sign on to it. There's sub-pages on here with various articles and other things that I do. And these are the classes that are coming up. And here's today's class. Well, there's links in there about how you get to the different classes or to watch them. Here's the classes. Item 1, that's today's date. Now, this is written in international date format. So it's 2021-9/28. That's the 28th of September of 2021. And it's 3:30 in the afternoon. And here's the link: digital photos, facial recognition using freeware. You click on that and it'll take you right to where those notes are stored. These are the next two classes for October. we're going to be talking about Heritage Quest Online, and we'll get to that later. All the past classes that I've taught with the notes and all the links and all that sort of thing are on here. And this goes on down for pages and pages and pages for many years since I've been doing this. Okay, so now we're in the digital photos. This is the class notes for today for facial recognition using freeware. There's a quick abstract here that'll give you some ideas about what's in the notes and what we're going to be talking about. There's the welcome and the introduction and so on, and there's my URL, my email address if you want to contact me later on or ask a question or something. I'll be glad to try and answer it for you later. Down here, item 4 is the problem for today, which is just describes this, how to organize your digital photos to more use them, make them more searchable. And in particular, we're going to be looking at facial recognition. Now, here's the 2 programs, this Picasa that I talked about with the information about that. We're going to be going through much detail of this with illustrations here, but the links are here so that you can look at it. Here's where you can, item 5 is where you can download it from for free, no charge to download the thing and install it on your own computer. It's a Windows program. There may be a Mac version of this, but I think, but I'm not sure. I don't know about that, but there are equivalent Mac programs. But anyway, you can download it from there and install it on your computer. Here are item 7 lists some tutorials and other things that have more details that you can you look at more in depth if you're interested in going into it further. We're going to be talking about what it does and the fact that it does not change your photos, but it makes it stores the information about the photo in a link on your computer, so that it doesn't change them, but it links them so that you can put them all together in an album, or you can edit the photos. We're not going to be talking much about editing, but I'll show you where that editing tools are in there. This is all the information about the Picasa, and we'll talk about the thumbnail versions as that goes through and finds faces and puts thumbnails around those and shows you them and tries to identify who that person is. Then the other program we'll be talking about is Microsoft Photos, which is built into Windows 10. It's there, it's free, and it's sometimes kind of hard to find, but there's indicated a way to find it in there as to where you can get it and what it'll do. And I'll show you some examples of both of them, both these 2 programs and how they work. And then here's the conclusions for our class. Okay, so now let me go back to our, where's my PowerPoint here? Right here. This is the, well, that's that's not questions yet. We're not ready for that. That's going to be here in just a couple of minutes. Okay, let me get back to show you the program itself. This is the icon for Picasa. You're looking at my desktop now, and this is the program Picasa. I've already installed it, downloaded and installed it. So I'm going to click and run it. Now, it's been running now for the last several days. When I prepared these notes, the last time I taught this class was many years ago, and I hadn't updated Picasa, and I discovered that I had set it to look at all pictures on my whole computer, and it had all kinds of duplicates. There's still a bunch of duplicates because I haven't cleaned that up, but I ended up going back and resetting in the preferences, and let's see where that is. Let's see, that's where is that preferences? Is it I indicated where it was? It's, I think it's in gosh, I've forgotten now. Well, anyway, it's someplace in there. Look in my notes; it tells you exactly where it is. I set it just to search the photos that were in what I call a folder called Photos by Date. I have years under those, so when I download them from my digital camera, I put them in that folder by the year. Now, what it has done is Picasa itself has taken those, and it said, Here's the thumbnails around each of these different pictures. Now, this happens to be my son-in-law, Lance Spencer, from down in Mesa. It puts a little thumbnail around every face that it finds in any photo, and then it tries to link those together to say, this looks like the same guy. And it asks you to confirm or disconfirm that they're the same person. Now, what's on here? Let's see, does it tell me? Yeah, down here over on the left side, you can see I've named this Lance Spencer Lance, and it's got 107 pictures in here. That means it found 107 pictures so far that it thinks are probably Lance. Now, each one of these pictures, these thumbnails, came from some different picture. I'm going to click on any one, like this one right here. I'll double click. That's the picture this came from. Now, there's Lance standing there. There's Judy, his wife. There's my wife, Diane. This was taken a long time ago. The date will be on here. That's their son, probably as he was going on a mission, as I recall. No, I guess it was later than that. Anyway, that's their son. There's me, and so on. So I'll double click again. That picture that it found by looking at that picture, it said, oh, here's some people. And it put a little box around Lance's face. And then it tried to identify him and say, I think that's him. Here's another one. I'll click on this one over here. There's a picture of us. There's Lance, and there's Kevin and Linda. That's my daughter and son-in-law. And there's Diane eating at some, I don't know what the restaurant was. We'd have to figure that out. It's probably, I could tell by the date on the picture where it was and what was happening. Each one of these pictures, let me click on another one down here. There's one that's, well, this one you can actually see. Where's that? Visitor Center in someplace. House of Seven Gables. Oh, that's up in New Hampshire and Massachusetts. I'm not sure they lived up in New Hampshire.
Now, here's when someone is sharing the screen.
So someone is sharing their screen?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Anyway, you can see what this has done. It has taken all of the pictures that were in that folder, and it's put little rectangles around the faces, and it said, I think this looks like Lance. Now look, I'm just scrolling down through this, and all of these I have already checked and said, yeah, that's him. As we scroll down, you're going to find bunches more. Let me keep on going down here. A lot of these are from this, like those, that's clearly the same picture. I've got a duplicate picture in there, so it found both of them. Oh, now look, now you see this stuff that's underneath these. There's a check and an X, and a check and an X, and a check and an X. These are pictures that it's saying, I think this is probably Lance, but you need to confirm whether it is or not. And so I start looking through these to see if there are any that are not Lance, because most of them are. It's really pretty good. It's found these. I didn't do this. It found these, and it said, I think these are all the same guy that you had in this same People album. And so I'm just scrolling down through these, and if I find one that doesn't look like Lance, I'll remove that one. And then I'm going to confirm and say, yeah, these are all Lance, so they're okay. And look at how many it found here of these. We had 107 before that were confirmed. And these are ones that, because it's got that little check and that little X down below, it's asking me to verify that, yeah, these are him or not. And I don't see any that aren't. But you really need to do this when you got good eyesight. Don't wait till the macular degeneration sets in, like in my case, because then I can't always see it clearly. But these are all, look, there's this guy got a hat. There's Lance with a hat. So it picks it up. Is that Lance? That me. Let me click on that. That's right out here on my front porch. And I'm let's see, there's Lance right there. Is that the one? I'm not sure that's him. Yeah, this is him, but this one isn't. Well, anyway, I could say if it's not him, I would click that X and say, no, that's not him. If it is, I could click the check and say, yeah, that's him. But There are so few that it's wrong that I find it simpler to go through these and look for them and find the ones that aren't in there and take those out. And then I'm going to click on confirm all. And you'll see, as soon as I click confirm all, you'll see that there's going to be lots more that it will recognize. And it'll say, oh, now I know more what Lance looks like. Here's a bunch more for you to check. Look at all these that it's found. I didn't do any of this. It facial recognition, it found all these things. And it wants me to verify that, yeah, they're him. And so far, I don't see any that aren't. And if you do make a mistake, you can always go back and correct it later when you see it. But when you get as many as this, you don't find at least I find it hard to even recognize that there's a problem there. But let me, I hope I'm down near the bottom of this thing so that I can click on this and show you what'll happen. Gosh, I didn't realize there were this many. I should have picked somebody that didn't. Okay, now there's the end of it. Okay, so now these are all Lance. And so up here at the top, you see where it says there's a little thing up there that says confirm. If I went clear back up to the top, then it would say confirm up there. I clicked on that confirm and it says, do you want to confirm all? And so I'll say, yeah, confirm all. Now, every one of those that were checked is now confirmed. And so now it will start adding, well, let me go back to Lance. It will start finding more people that look like him. You see there's another confirm all up there now. Let's scroll down here. It has added bunches more because now it says, oh, I know what Lance looks like now. I got more information. Here's, well, there's only two more here that it added for him. Are those him? Yeah, it looks like him. And so I can now, I'll just check those right here. Click those right there. Oh, and now when it saw that one, it says, oh, okay, here's another one. This might, now it's just, you see what happens is as soon as it gets more information, it starts adding more in. Look at all these that it's coming up with now that it says, oh, since you confirmed the other ones, here's some others that might look like that. This is what the thing does on it. And any one of these, you can see the picture in context, like this one. I'll double click on the picture. Double click on the picture. That's what it is. Oh yeah, that's Lance and Judy. That's taken in my front, but right by my front door in Provo at my condo up there. That's the raft of snow in the picture up there. But that's Judy and Lance when they were up there before. Double click and change it back. Yeah, it looks like all those are actually Lance. Look at these were the ones that just added after we did the confirmation of the others, and there must be another. What, probably another 100 pictures here that it found of this. I don't know how many thousand pictures I got in here, but here's the ones that were already there because they don't have that thing down here. Okay, so now I'm going to click confirm all. And so now I got all those confirmed. And I found that sometimes I was confirming all of them and I was getting people that really weren't in there. Now it's finding more. In just that time, it's gone and found additional people from there. And so these are different people. That was the mother of one of the missionaries that we had, and so on here, different people. I've named some of these, but there's my daughter Linda, and it's got bunches more of her. What does it say in here? It doesn't give the, well, I can't see the number of people. But these are Linda, and it found those. And down here toward the bottom, here, these are all ones that says, I think those are Linda. You want to confirm all these. And so I would look through these and say, yeah, those are all her. And so then I'd click and so on. I won't take time to do that, but you get the idea as to what's happening. These are what are called people albums in here. And down at the bottom of my list over here on the left, down here after the ones I've named, see here's unnamed persons. It says, okay, this is a person, but I'm not sure who this is. So you can give it a name and say, yeah, and who is this? Oh, that's Mindy, isn't it? I think that's my granddaughter. I have to look at it a little more carefully. I'll click here for other people. That's an unknown person. That looks like, I think that, well, I'm not sure who that. I think that's Carl Snow, but I'm not sure. Anyway, you can see it's organized, even though it doesn't give the names for them because it doesn't know who they are. But it's asking me to start going through these. And you look at one. Here's one that had 22 people in it, and it started with a baby and goes right on up to older. And I'm just surprised at how good this thing is in keeping track of even pictures that are at a different time period. Look at some of them. Let's go back and let me show you my wife's Diane. Here's Diane Manwaring. It's got bunches more. See that it already found. I've confirmed a whole lot of them, but it found all these others. These are Diane's. And this is Joyce's sister. Joyce is online with us today. And this is her sister, and that's with my wife. And all of these came from that. Looks like, well, let me click on the picture. There we are. And with one of the kids and so on. Down at the bottom of this thing, I'm just scrolling down until I get down to where it's got those little boxes underneath to be sure that they're to ask me to confirm or disconfirm. Boy, I didn't realize how many pictures I had of Diane. They're okay. Now these are ones. It says it's found all these, and it says I think this is the same person. Is it? And so we could look through these and make sure that they're all her, and see what they are. And yeah, they all look like her so far. But it takes a while to go through this and see where, but you can always click on one if you say, oh, where was that one taken? Oh yeah, that's Diane. That looks like taken in Hawaii, I think. That was just within 6 months before she died. And so here's all these different sorts of things. And yeah, these look like all her. I would, because it is so accurate, I would find the ones that don't belong in here, pull those out, and then confirm all, and then it'll immediately start finding more. So anyway, there's you got the idea as to what's happening with it. Now, suppose I click on one of these. Let me click on this one. Looks like we're going to a temple or something, someplace. Across the top, see, I double clicked on that thumbnail, and this is the picture that it's from. And so all of these pictures, all these kids are in this picture. Now, down here at the bottom, there's a thing. Let's see, where is it? My Zoom is cutting it off, and I can't see where it is. There's a thing down here that you click on, and it will open up a list on the right side, which I can't get to because I can't see it without changing this, so I won't do it now. That shows you the everybody that's in the picture, and then you can, and then when you hover over it, it will highlight, put a little box around that, and it'll show you the name highlighted over here on the right as who that person is. And you can see if you got the right person in there. Now, see these pictures across the top. These are the pictures that are the ones that were in Diane's. And so if I start clicking on those, it's going to click and get me the different pictures that that Diane is in. So these are the pictures that she's in. And so you can form an album of everybody that's in the particular picture. That was taken in, that was in Sweden. Joyce, you're in there too. Where are you? Is that you? Anyway, you're Joyce. We made a trip over to Sweden, and we met some of Diane's and Joyce's cousins over there in Sweden. And there's Linda. She was with us, and so on. And so it found all these pictures, and it does all this organization for you automatically. And it's a wonderful way of collecting up the information. Now, when you're in one of these big pictures, double click to get the big picture. Over here on this side, over on the top left, you see a bunch of things that are for editing. And I'm not going to say much about photo editing now because we're running out of time and I got to get the other one. But that's where you can edit. You can crop the picture, or you can change the color of the picture and so on. And it stores all the details there. If you double click, it goes back to the thumbnails on here. And if you scroll clear down at the bottom on the left side over here, then it begins showing you all the folders that you have on your computer where it's getting all these pictures from. And now it's clear down at the bottom. Let me see if I can get down there by, no, that's, not getting me down there where I want to go. Well, anyway, it shows you here. Now we're down to the folders. So these are the folders. This is the folder 1960 that I have in that folder, etc., and the different groups of pictures that are in different time periods in there. You can form albums of them by various ways in terms of the tools, etc., up there. Now there's a lot more we can say. This is Picasa. This is a free program. It's old. It hasn't been updated now for several years. And I really wish somebody would, in open source, for example, that knows about programming, would take it and update the thing, because it's a great program. But it's free for everybody to use. You can download it at no charge, and there's a link on your notes for where to get it. Now, I'm going to minimize that and get back to show you. Let's see, I need to spend just at least a few minutes on the other one. This is the other program, the photo. It's called Microsoft Photos. It's built into Windows. Now, I turned it loose on Sunday. I think I started it running because I hadn't used it before, and so it started on the same pictures. But these are the pictures that happens to be taken just last month. That's me. And my grandson Kyle and Katie, and their wedding day. They were married in the Bountiful Temple, and this is at the wedding breakfast at Tucano's later in the afternoon on that day. Then if you you can click on it to enlarge it and so on, or go back. Now, as you go back over here, look at over on the right side. You see over here on the right side where there's a timeline thing. If you click on any one of these pictures, there's an album information that was taken on whatever that date was. All these little black dots have pictures, and you can roll your mouse wheel and scroll through these pictures. There's one that needs turning sideways on there. So these are the pictures that are in chronological order. Now, for this one, for the facial recognition, you go over here up the top. You see across the top it says collection, albums, people, folders, etc. Click on people, and let me click right there on people, and these are the people that it's found. Now there's Diane. Look, it found 1,186 photos of Diane. If I click on it, here they are. That's her when she had a hip operation and she was in the Provo Hospital from there. And now over here on the right in this timeline are all these different little black dots that show you the different pictures as to when she was taken, or when this was taken. And so there she is with, oh, there's Joyce. That's probably on a subway. What's the date on that one? That's probably when you came to visit us in London when we were serving in the Family History Center, and we were on the train on the one of the subways there. Anyway, you can click, you can roll down, just scroll down through these things, and you see all these different pictures at different times. They're all in chronological order from here. And it found 1,100 pictures of Diane in here in this one. And so I'll click to go back here. It found 811 pictures of me, 328 of Linda, and so on. These are the pictures that are there, and these are called people albums. And you can save all these off. When I was talking with Linda last week, they're serving as mission presidents. She and Kevin Westover are down there in Guayaquil, Ecuador. She said every time when the missionaries finish their missions, they want copies of all the pictures that we've got. And she said it's a job for us to try to get all the pictures that they're in. This is a simple way of doing that. You put all your pictures, put them all in one location, in one file, or organize them, in folders, and then run this program on it, and it will pull up all the pictures that are in there that relate to you. And so you can see who's there and get them all organized and form a people album of them. And this allows you, both of these programs allow you to download these people albums so that you get all the people out there. So it's a way of organizing your photos by the individuals that are in them. Now, this program also will do things like, if you look at this albums thing, click over here on albums. I formed a couple of these albums. One of these was Katie and Kyle and Katie's wedding. I picked up all those pictures because they were all on the right day, and I put those all in one place. It formed all these other albums. I didn't do this other stuff. It said Weekend in St. George. It looked at the date these were taken, and it said, oh, and the location. And it said, oh, these are in St. George. Here's what the pictures that were all taken on that weekend. Here's a week in St. Louis, or no, and St. John's. That must be in the Caribbean. That must be on a cruise that we were on or something. Saturday morning in probably I don't know. But anyway, you can form albums yourself and then download the albums or copy them off, send them to your friend or your kids or whatever. But and you can add, this also has a video thing on here. We're not going to talk about much of that, but it's got a video so that you can click on the video, and then it automatically forms all these videos. You can click on one and it will start playing, and it'll put music in the background, and you can edit it and so on. This is Microsoft Photos. And so let's go back over here to the original photos, and this is free. Both these two programs are completely free. Now there's lots more we could talk about, but we've already probably talked about enough here. Are there any questions or comments that any of you might have? And if so, just unmute your microphone and ask your comment, or type it into the chat box. Anybody
we have
got
a couple from online too. Go ahead, Marilyn.
Yeah, Don, I was amazed how quickly this works, Picasso, compared to when I first doing it. And are you finding that your computer is faster and processes these better than it did before?
Yeah, but I think the main thing was, before I had said, do all the pictures on the entire computer.
Okay, and so now you just did the folders.
Now and there were duplicates all over the place, and it was picking up stuff that were in pictures from slideshows, everything else you can think of, and that's what was taking a lot of the time.
Wow, I was thinking I am starting to do 50th birthday parties and wedding anniversaries and things like that, and slideshows, and I'm thinking, wow, I'm excited. Thank you very much.
Isn't this something? And it's free.
Great. This is great.
And both Picasso, and try both of them. And there are probably a couple of others too, but these are the two that I've used. And I've used Picasso for many years, but I haven't updated it. And so when I was preparing these notes, that's when I downloaded it again and updated it and turned off don't do everything on all my computers, just do the one folder that's got all my pictures in it. So, but anyway, it may be very helpful to you. Anything else? Any other questions or comments?
Quickie one. I guess Google Photos doesn't have any facial recognition of its own, and it doesn't.
I think it does. If you use it, I'm pretty sure you. But I've run out of space on Google, and it's going to cost me money to use it, because my email and all my other stuff comes in with the same account. And it's because I've got 65 gigabytes of stuff on Google now, and not gigabytes, but megabytes. Or is it? No, I guess it is gigabytes. Yeah, and so for me to use Google Photos is going to cost me money to save more. It's not too expensive, but I'd rather have it on my own computer so that it's not in line. I don't have to be online to use it.
Did you have to do anything special to use external hard drives when you?
No, you can.
That?
Yeah. I'm not running on external hard drives because I've got 3 hard drives in this computer. But you could plug in another hard drive and just tell it that's the one you want the program to work on.
Okay. By the way, we've had people on Facebook join us from Central New Jersey. who just loves your classes. She says, thank you for all these classes. I love watching them. There's always great info to be had.
Well, I should have asked at the start, if you are on Facebook or on Zoom, tell us where you're from. We kind of like to know that. There's usually somebody from Maine on here and somebody from Oregon.
You got a brand new person also from Draper, Utah.
Oh, from Draper. Okay, well, that's close in. Good. Well, anyway, we're glad to have all you folks here. And so that's the questions and comments. And here's the, and if there's any more, why Gerhard can tell me. Here's a summary.
By the way, if you want to respond to this in chat, the comment was, I didn't catch on how to find Microsoft Photos on my computer.
Oh,
and the second comment is, how does it work on black and white ancestors photos?
Yeah, I don't think it matters for the color or black and white, because I've got black and white ones in here as well. But I did gloss over that finding it. The only way I can find to run photos, Microsoft Photos, is to go down to the lower left corner. Let me demo it here quickly. Let me see if I can. Okay, this is. Are you still seeing my screen?
Browser.
No, it's not in a browser.
Okay.
Go to your desktop, and right down here where it says type into search, you're right next to the window, lower left hand corner. There's the Windows icon. Type right in there, Photos, PHOTOS, and there it is. And then double click on that, and that will run it. I cannot, and I can't find, once it's running, then it puts an icon down at the bottom on the taskbar, and I can drag that off, which I've done. But to get it originally, that's the only way I could find to get to it. That's why it explains this in the notes, but it's kind of hard to find, and I don't know why they don't allow you to just put a desktop icon on or something. But just go down to that bottom thing and type in word photos, and then it comes up with anything that's got photos, the word photos in it, and Photos is the name of the program. And that's the icon. It looks like that mountain thing. You can see it running down here right there. If you can see where I'm circling with my mouse at the bottom of my screen. That's what the icon looks like. Anyway, I did kind of gloss over that. Any other questions that anybody had? Oh, let's see, did I get... Here's the summary. This is what we talked about. We talked about file naming last time, not this time. And that's a major help. Facial recognition freeware. We talked about the two programs, Picasa and Microsoft Photos. And you can get them, or that organizes into people albums, which you can then download or move around or do what you want to with them. And then we saw a bunch of examples from it. Well, thank you, folks. We appreciate you watching, and our next class is in 2 weeks, and so we'll look forward to having you back with us in a couple of weeks.